Good morning, everyone. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Sorry for being late. I was rounding up the special guests for the morning. We have Amie Broder. Amie Broder's here. This is my wife, for those who do not know her. She's nice to me sometimes, and that's good enough for me.
I'm sending a quick email, sorry.
Oh, goodness, Instagram. I thought we were going to break today. Something's wrong with my device. Give me a minute, Instagram. My device is broken. Do you all see this? This device just malfunctioned twice in a row on me. Instagram, you know, it may be a little bit lackluster today. Sorry.
That's not bad.
It's not bad, but we're not going to look at them. We're going to look up there. We're going to ignore you today, Instagram. Sorry. Look, there's the mouse. You can see the mouse. For those who don't know, I have this fantastic mouse. It is called a Logitech M570. It's a wireless trackball mouse. I used to have terrible carpal tunnel syndrome, but this fixed it. So, do that. I was going to talk about having fun today and how to have fun and how to be fun, but then Amie decided to join me. So,
no, we can still talk about that.
Well, we're going to talk about that a little bit.
Let's be fun!
Before we get started, though, it's very important. On Monday, I'm having a webinar at 10 a.m. with Fader Holtz. You know who Fader Holtz is?
He plays poker.
Yeah, he's the guy who's won literally everything over the last few years. We are going to be discussing, well, whatever you all want to ask. I sent an email out to my subscribers yesterday, and they sent in a bunch of great questions, so we have those ahead of time. But you can go ahead and sign up for that webinar. It's going to be capped at 3,000 people. I think we probably will not have 3,000, but you never know. I would certainly want to attend a webinar with Fedor, so I'm trying to bring that to you. I always ask myself, what would I like as a poker student? I would like to have a webinar with Fedor. So you know what? We're having a webinar with Fedor. And that is going to be on Monday, April 8th at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. You can sign up for it now at pokercoaching.com/primedmind. I'll type it in for you. pokercoaching/primed mind. Some of you are asking about the giveaway. We do have a giveaway going on right now. I'm typing that in as well. I can't type with Amie sitting right in front of the keyboard.
I don't know if you guys know, but John does not type with both of his all fingers on both of his hands. He types with the middle finger
the
on
claws.
one hand and like two fingers on the where is the camera? Because that one's getting
up
stuck.
There.
And two fingers on another hand, and he goes like this. It's the weirdest, most awkward thing I could have ever have seen.
And it doesn't really work when I'm doing like this. But yes, I type with not all my fingers. I never learned typing, yet I can type 120 words a minute. So yeah, there's a giveaway.
Incorrectly. He has to correct what he types all the time. It took him several tries to put in pokercoaching.com just now.
The keyboard's way over here. Anyway.
It's the keyboard's fault.
So yes,
Vanessa and Jason. Is that the Vanessa and Jason from Houston? My friends from Houston?
Of course it is.
That's amazing. Hi guys, we miss you so much.
We don't know if that's them.
Haven't seen them since our wedding.
We don't know if that's them.
Well, it could be.
Do they like punching gerbils? That's their name.
What other Vanessa and Jason combo would
Well, no, it's
be?
obviously them saying that maybe a different person saying hello for Vanessa and Jason.
Oh, so Gerbil Punch is saying hello on their behalf?
Maybe, I don't know. I'm just reading it.
Well, thank you, Gerbil Punch.
Did I win the Global Poker Award for Poker Personality of the Year? I don't know. That's going to be given away tonight. That starts at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Poker Go. Anybody can watch it.
This is another thing John gets wrong all the time is dates. He was telling everyone he would know the results by yesterday and make sure to vote in time. And then yesterday morning he comes to me and goes, I did it again. The awards aren't until tomorrow, which is today.
Yeah. So Gerbil Punch is indeed Jason. Good morning, Jason. Hope you're having a great day.
Jason, we miss you.
All right. So anyway, the two things. Giveaway. We're giving away $1,500. How does that make you feel?
I like it. Am I eligible?
Yeah. No. Don't. You're not going to win.
All right.
$1,500 in the form of World Series of Poker Big 50 seats. We're giving away 3 of those. You can go to pokercoaching.com/WSOP to sign up for that. Have your chance to win. And then also, the webinar with Fedor, go to pokercoaching.com/primedmind. PRIMEDMIND. What's the name of my first book? Secrets of Professional Tournament Poker, Volume 1. My first book was about 600 pages long. Publisher said that's too big. Eventually, I convinced them to publish 500-page books. But 600 pages was too long. They made me cut it in half, but that's okay. I cut it in half, and it's good to go.
Cut it in half? I thought it was 3 volumes.
Cut it into thirds. We're good to go. So, we're going to do an Ask Me Anything for Amie. So, if you all want to ask Amie questions, or me questions, I'll answer some too. Feel free to ask. Did you know the name of my first book?
Secrets of Professional Tournament Poker.
Did you all know that I started writing books after I met Amie? And I've been writing books for 10 years. We are old. How's it feel to be old? Look at all these gray hairs in your hair. I
know. If you guys see all these highlights, those are natural highlights. That's all the silver in my hair. Wow, it really comes through, my God. On the camera.
Yep.
But I've been going gray since I was 20, so I'm kind of used to it. And I like it. I don't color my hair. Jonathan says he likes it, doesn't want me to color my hair. I colored my hair for my wedding because my mom asked me to, and that was good enough for me.
All natural, baby. I'm a winner no matter what. That is accurate. I know that I have all of your love, and that's all I really care about. Do I sound like Rob Lowe's? Do I sound like Rob Lowe's?
Rob Lowe? I don't think so.
Let's see. How long have we been married? 12 years? Something like that?
This summer, it'll be 4 years.
Yes.
But we've been together for 9. It's a long time.
It's a very long time. I only have a few other longer relationships in my life. My parents, my brother, and Dan Stanley, who helps me bring all these great products to you. I've been with my business. I've been in the business with Dan longer than I have with Amie. Let's see.
They want to know how long it takes you to shower.
4 minutes.
Takes a very, very quick shower.
Yes.
And yeah, very quick shower.
Seems like I would be a quick shower person the way I value my time. That's accurate. What's it take to upgrade the stakes? The stakes in what? If both parents are here, where are James and Thomas? I don't know. Where do we go on our honeymoon?
We have a nanny. Our nanny is with James and Thomas.
Her name's Dalma. She's great with the kids. She's taking care of them. For everyone on Instagram today, sorry I'm kind of neglecting you because this device here broke. This is supposed to hold the camera. It doesn't. So you're all way down here. I'm sorry. Maybe Amie will read the questions, but it's hard to read the Instagram questions.
Oh, they're different questions?
Yeah. That's the problem with Instagram.
Oh.
Instagram thinks they're special. They need their own device. They need their own camera. Here, I'll show you all.
Here, I'll do it.
They need their own camera. Can you say hello to Instagram, to the world? Hello, Instagram.
Well, I don't want to ignore Instagram.
There's a way to make this all the way up, but I don't know how to do it. Pause due to poor connection. Now I've screwed up Instagram. Uh-oh.
You turned it.
Uh-oh. Anyway, Instagram, sorry. Neglect them today. They deserve a little bit of neglect.
No! They said they voted for you.
Who makes more money? Depends on if I win or not. How does she put up with you? I don't know.
That's an interesting question. I would have to think...
What?
I think that you do at this point.
I definitively do.
Okay.
You don't say that out loud, though.
Someone registered for the Q&A.
No, don't read it out loud.
Oh.
All right, Amie is trying to teach... Sorry, Peter's trying to teach his girlfriend to play poker. She's a complete newbie. What is the easiest, hardest thing to learn? And what should I have done differently in terms of teaching you?
The hardest thing to learn is that what you do changes based on what everyone else at the table is doing before you. And so you can go in, you can look at your cards and have a sense of how good or bad your cards are. But then your strategy, not only whether you bet, but how much you bet and what you should anticipate doing during the next round, changes based on what everyone else is doing. And so for me, that was very hard to keep in my head. That, and also the fact that my position affected what I did. So every time I folded a hand and would get ready for my next hand, I'd have to remind myself, where am I sitting? Am I a big blind? Am I any blinds? Does that matter? Why does it matter? How does it matter? And then start all over strategizing again. I think frankly the biggest shock for new poker players is that you really are thinking all the time. You're not just sitting down and casually playing. And so it's quite exhausting and quite nerve-wracking if you don't already have all of the strategy internalized. Someone wanted to know, how did I know when I was pregnant the first time?
A baby starts growing in your belly, and you feel that.
Oh, how did I do when I was pregnant the first time with John being gone for tournaments? I was fairly lucky with easy pregnancies, knock on wood, and so, John would go to the doctor's appointments with me whenever he was in town, and when he wasn't, I think there were only a few that he missed. I would go by myself, or maybe one of my parents came the first time. But the pregnancies were easy, and I would, nap when I could, and ate when I could, and and John would commit to not traveling past a certain point in my pregnancy, so that way in case I delivered early, he would be around. That didn't work out, well, whatever. It worked out both times.
It's becoming clear to me we're not going to get to all the questions, so if we don't get to yours, sorry.
Oh, no.
What was my first major purchase after I won at poker? I bought a condominium. How do you play against someone who always gets lucky on the river? Well, stop being a fish and thinking that they get lucky on the river. Everyone does not get lucky on the river. It may feel like it, and to be fair, maybe you pay them off poorly. How do you play against someone who plays all the cards? Just play better cards than them, because then you're going to win 60% of the hands. Just don't pay them off when they get there. Then poker becomes a very, very easy game. Stop complaining about luck. If you think luck is a big factor long term, then you do not understand how variance and math works. What's your definition of shrewd?
Oh, is Jonathan shrewd?
No, I'm asking, what's your definition of shrewd?
Well, but
I don't even know what the word means exactly.
Perceptive, analytical.
Harsh.
Perceptive.
You think shrewd means perceptive?
And like...
Let's see.
We'll
find out together.
Okay.
Shrewd. Shrewd means having or showing sharp powers of judgment.
Yeah.
Okay, so I didn't know what the word shrewd meant, as expected.
No, look, perceptive is a synonym.
Woot woot! Amy knows all the words, so am I perceptive? No.
I'll tell you who knows all the words. My friend Vanessa from Houston.
There you
go.
go.
Jason can attest to that.
Let's see. How can you convince your wife to let you play more poker? Make her realize poker is a good use of your time. A better use of your time than hanging out with her and hanging out with your family. Ooh, it's a tough one.
That is a tough one.
But that's how you do it. How do you balance family and poker? I separate the two things completely. When I go to travel to play poker, I play poker. When I'm home, I try to play almost no poker. And that's it.
Well, I think this guy's problem is you have another full-time job. I mean, John's full-time job is poker. So, I mean, sometimes that means being here and doing poker, or it means traveling and doing poker. If you have a different full-time job already and a family, poker is effectively a hobby. So then the question becomes is how do you balance your hobbies with all of your other life commitments, and they usually end up taking a very low priority in the list.
I have a hobby, Magic the Gathering, and I've played Magic the Gathering about 3 hours this year. So that's my hobby, 3 hours.
Yeah, right.
He
maybe has only played for 3 hours, but you should see what he does in this office when he's doing the webinars and conference calls and...
All right, okay, so anyway, I would tell you to understand that it is a hobby. Why'd you want to be a lawyer?
I don't know. Always wanted to be one since I was a kid. So I don't really know where the kernel of thought came from, but it was just in my head and kind of never thought of really doing anything else. It's not a good answer, but it's actually it's a not uncommon answer to that question. I'm surprised how many other people kind of just had the thought when they were a kid and it just stuck.
Amy, have you been accused of being a nit at the poker table?
I have either been accused of being a nit or a bully. It's either one of the two. I'm either afraid of playing any hands and I just sit until I have something really good, or especially at these charity poker tournaments where you sometimes aren't given a lot of chips to start, and so the strategy is to go all in a lot. I go all in a lot, and the people at the table think I'm a bully for not just relaxing and hanging back and playing more casually. But, you know, he told me when you start a charity tournament with only 5 big blinds, you're going all in every hand.
What do other moms think about me? It seems like I'm around more than most dads. Ask them.
It's interesting. I mean, some people, when they know that he's home, it's a huge help to have someone else in the house who's not commuting to and from an office every day, so we don't have to coordinate those types of schedules. But when he's doing webinars, we have to coordinate those schedules. And when he's traveling, unfortunately, I think he travels more than probably most significant others do. So that can be hard to coordinate. But, we always check our schedules with each other. We try to make sure that we have coverage if we need coverage, either with my parents or with our nanny.
Keep talking.
Instagram fell.
Sorry, Instagram. We're having a rough day today.
And so we do it. We do it by doing it together. It'll be interesting to see how it goes with 2 kids instead of 1, because I think handling 2 is a lot harder when you're by yourself than just the one-on-one situation, but I guess we'll see.
It's harder to juggle 2 objects than 1. Let's see.
It's not called juggling if it's only 1.
That's right. It's called doing nothing. Are we 2 going to stop at 2 kids or try for a girl? Why do you think we don't want another boy, Mark? Our first 2 boys are perfect. I don't know why I'd want to mess that up. Not trying to complicate things here. We're probably not going to have any more kids because, well, we're too poor to buy a 3-bedroom place in Manhattan. Do you ever travel with me to poker tournaments?
I think the answer is really no. I think the most I've ever done is I would travel with you to the site of the poker tournament, but then leave. Like I would take a short trip to Vegas to see you before a tournament started, or the Bahamas before a tournament started, and then once the tournament begins, I would go home.
I don't really want distractions when I'm playing poker, and sorry, but you're kind of a distraction.
Yeah.
And I try to not do business things when I'm playing poker. I try to focus on poker because that is by far the most important thing to me. If your mind is scattered left and right, well, you may or may not play great. It's tough to say. But I like keeping my mind as clear as I possibly can. Similar to that, whenever I make a final table, do you want to be there in person or do you get the updates in real time at home?
I wish I could be at a final table. It bums me out when he does well at a tournament and I'm not there to support him. It bums me out when his friends make a final table and we can't just pick up and jump on a plane and go watch them. I think that would be really great to see and get to be a part of. I think the only final table I've ever seen, I think it was Shannon, right? Our summer we got married. Yeah. He was wearing a red blazer.
Yeah,
right?
You're right.
The summer, and it was coincidental. The summer we got married, I stopped over in Vegas after doing a conference in LA. So I just hopped on a quick flight to Vegas to see John, and his friends were all there for the World Series, and his friend Shannon had made a final table, and so I got to hop off the plane, go, from the airport, went to meet everyone, and we went and watched the final table, and that was really fun.
I have a question. Whenever I made a final table, are you sweating the updates on the internet in real time?
Until I fall asleep.
I didn't even know you did that. I assumed you didn't.
I do.
If they were to change poker to 11-handed, how would that change things? Not much. Just fold the first few positions, what you're supposed to do anyway. Can you convince someone's wife to let you play more poker? No, that is up to you. Because everyone's different. You know your situation better than others. You need to be very realistic and understand what your situation is, and if it actually does make sense for you to play poker. We're not trying to deceive your wife or trick your wife into letting you make poor decisions. No, make good decisions. And I don't know your situation. What's a good method to get over the mid-grind hump in long sessions? Get up, stand around, walk around, have coffee, do jumping jacks, do something besides poker for 20 minutes, etc., etc. We played the tag team event tournament together. Maybe 1 year. Have you learned to play Magic the Gathering? No, she has not.
I have.
You think you could play a game right now? Actually, I think she could play a game.
He taught me to play.
I think she could play a game right now. think she could.
I've even beaten him sometimes.
Does Jonathan cook good? Cook good what?
Jonathan is a good cook, but he just doesn't cook anymore.
I do not. What's my biggest flaw? Ooh, I have a lot.
What do you think your biggest flaw is?
I don't know how to relax.
That's a good one. That's a good big flaw. His mind is always going.
In terms of relaxing, do we take time for family meals together?
Yes. We try to do dinner together every night. So at minimum we do that. When I'm back at work, it's going to be hard to do any of the other meals together. On weekends, we try to do all our meals together. But at minimum, during the weekdays, we try to do dinner together.
And that kind of thing is important. I try to be done with work at about 6 p.m. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I do try to always block off 6 p.m. till 8 p.m. when we put the kids to bed. And have dinner, take baths, put the kids to bed. And I try to block off 6 a.m. till 8 a.m. in the morning to get the kids up. During the day, and also I try to block off weekends. So I try to do that. I try to not work so much. Sometimes stuff goes on. We run a business with a bunch of people involved. Lots of moving parts, and sometimes that requires attention, but I try my best to plan when I can and try to work 9 till 6. Is Twitter chat on? Yes, of course it is.
A lot of people are asking or commenting on giving me a girl and making sure we get a girl in the family and how moms always want girls. I love my 2 boys. There are definitely things that, I won't get to do with them that I would get to do with a daughter, like I got to do with my mom. But the same is true in the alternative, probably. Things I'll get to do with my sons and boys that might not have gotten to experience with my girls. It's an interesting thing. I did get a lot of comments from people like, oh, it's another boy, did you want a girl? Or, oh, someone else, has 1 boy, 1 girl, they're so happy they have one of each, now they can stop trying to have kids. I admittedly, I think when we found out our second child was a boy, both of us kind of looked at each other and said, oh, okay, maybe we were secretly hoping for a girl, but we had no reason to be, and honestly, we're thrilled to have 2 boys.
I don't care what we have.
They're amazing, and hopefully they'll be best buds, and they're just so fun together already, even though Thomas is still so young. And I honestly couldn't imagine our family being anything but our 2 boys.
What is your mom's nationality?
My mom...
Your mom's.
My mom is originally from the Ukraine. That's where she was born, but she grew up in Israel before coming here. So she considers herself Israeli.
Which do we prefer? We both have to answer Wheel of Fortune or Jeopardy. We're going to answer at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Jeopardy! James only watches 3 TV shows. He watches Sesame Street, Barney, and Jeopardy. He loves Daily Doubles. He says, yay! But yes. It's good. Have I ever made a call with Jack High? Yes. Many times. I don't remember the hand, though, because I tend to not remember that kind of thing.
You haven't been answering any of those questions over there.
Yes, I have, actually.
Oh, okay.
I've answered all those questions.
Not the have I ever been to your hometown, or...
Oh, you're right. I missed that one. Have you ever been to my hometown? One time. A long time ago. Haven't been home in a while. It's hard to get home because we have lots and lots and lots and lots going on. Like you said, I have a hard time relaxing. And that would be a 1-week relaxing trip, and doesn't work for me so well. If I make the final table of the main event, will you come watch it? Depends on if she has to work or not, right?
I would love to. And
of course she will.
Before we had kids, I would be on standby if he was making a deep run in a tournament, because if he did, I'd want to hop on the first flight out to go see him. Never ended up happening. Never had to actually take a late, last minute flight out. But I was able to at least make myself available in case it happened.
Do I get grumpy whenever I'm on a downswing or whenever I'm having a bad session? I think way less than everybody else.
But
everybody gets a little bit unhappy.
They're asking me.
Sorry.
Yeah, he does. He gets. For the most part, I think whenever he doesn't do well at a tournament, he needs, maybe 15 minutes or something to just calm down and be in his own head, and then he kind of reverts back to normal. There have been 1 or 2 other times I think our entire time together, where it's gotten a little bit more extreme than that, where he's taken a loss a little bit harder. But, at the end of the day, he says, this is what I signed up for. This is the game I love to play. I have to understand this is going to happen. For some people, it will happen for years. And, you have to just believe that if you put in the volume, it will eventually even out. And unfortunately, at this point in his career, he's not putting in the same kind of volume he used to. So the downswings might last a lot longer than they might otherwise. So
in terms of time, but fortunately, time is irrelevant.
Yeah.
How often do you think the average player brings their A game? That's kind of a weird question because does the A game mean the best you can possibly give given what you have done so far, or does the A game mean the highest potential you could possibly have? Everyone plays below their potential because everyone does not devote themselves to poker. Now, if you mean how often do people play their absolute best when they are playing, 4% of the time they play their best, maybe less. Tips on going to 1, 3 to 2, 5. I have a chapter in my book, Excelling at No Limit Hold'em by Ed Miller. You can get that at hold'embook.com. Go get that, read that. It'll tell you how to move up in stakes from any stake and then stay in the higher stake. Let's see. Have you ever tried to study one of my books? Talk about your first time reading one of my books.
The answer is no.
I asked Amie to edit my first book a long time ago because Amie's very good at writing. She's a lawyer, for those who don't know. She's very good at English. And she marked up the first 3 pages. She completely covered them in red ink. I'm like, all right, we're done.
It was fire. Well, the other problem is that I was taking too long. I mean, when John wants to do something, he wants it done now. If you say it's going to take some time to do it, he's not interested. So not only was I being a little too aggressive with the pen, I couldn't commit to turning it around within 24 hours.
Within 24 years.
Yeah, so I got fired.
Have we entered the world of Manhattan pre-K?
Yes, our son will be joining a preschool in the fall. It's a very weird, stressful process. You apply as early as September, and you don't know until the following February whether or not your child has gotten into a program for the next September. So you apply a year early, and then it takes 6 months after that to even find out if you've gotten in. We got lucky. There was, a school that we wanted us, our son to go to that was relatively close to home and got good reviews from parents we spoke to. It was the only one we applied to, and he got in. That's
what you do. Like, if you want to send your kid to Harvard, just only apply at Harvard, and maybe they'll get in.
That's what I did.
And look, here you are. Unbelievable. What's the best and worst thing about being married to a poker player? To be fair, we should preface this by I am not a regular poker player. Because I have a job. I teach you all to play poker too, right? So what's the best and worst thing about being married to a poker player?
I don't know what the worst... Well, okay, I guess the worst thing is that, I think we do have the money conversation maybe more than a lot of other couples.
I don't know about that. We essentially never fight about money. I think a lot of people fight about money.
No,
We've
not
never
fighting.
Fight about money.
No, not fighting about money. We don't fight about money. But I think planning for the future and understanding what our stories financially is going to be 5 years from now, 10 years from now. Because there are times where I may want to pivot and change what I'm doing, but I'm too nervous to because John's very entrepreneurial and doing a lot of different things, and we don't know where poker is going, law-wise, in this country. So I think we have that conversation a lot. What should we both be doing? How should we be planning? Who should be taking risks? Who shouldn't be taking risks? But it's not a fight. So that's probably the hardest thing is. It's not a steady paycheck job where you get raises, every few years and you'll get a title promotion eventually and you can kind of settle in and do your thing for 20 plus years. The best thing is, I don't know, it's interesting. It takes him to a lot of really cool places. He meets a lot of amazing people. He has a lot of flexibility. He's a self-employed person, so he has a lot of flexibility when we do need him to be available, he can make himself available. I don't know. There's a lot of great things about what he does. It's really fun. And I will tell you, anytime we go somewhere and have to talk about what we do for a living, I can sit back and relax because no one's going to want to talk to me. They're all going to want to hear about what he does. And so it's a great conversation starter. Hey!
Someone named Peter Beardsley asked, if you didn't name your kids James and Thomas, what would have been the next name? I think it would have been Peter Beardsley. What do you think it would have been?
Peter wants us to say Hercules for James. And I'm not sure what we were supposed to name Thomas, what Peter had wanted me to name Thomas. I don't know. We kind of had no real backup options, but Peter's suggestion, and it was quite a brilliant one, was to load up their names with a bunch of famous names. So to call James like Hercules, Kennedy, Rockefeller, Broder Little. And really, there's some genius to that suggestion. But we did not have the guts to go through with that, so we just stuck with James and Thomas.
This Peter sounds like a weird dude.
He's amazing. You guys all wish you could know him.
I strike you as stoic. Have I heard of stoicism? Or have I heard that I'm stoic? I have this book that I read almost every day called The Daily Stoic. So yes. It's a good book.
The downside to being stoic is sometimes you don't show the right amount, well, what some would view as the right amount of empathy.
That just means I'm not doing stoicism properly.
Which is another thing we talk about a lot in our relationship.
We'll get back to that in a second. If you're just getting started at pokercoaching.com, how do you get started with the homework? Go and study Excelling at No Limit Hold'em. Mastering Small Stakes No Limit Hold'em at jonathanlittlepoker.com/mastering. That'll get you well up to speed. And then just go back to the very first homework challenge and work your way forward. They build on top of each other. Are we on the Upper West Side? We are not. Between live and online stakes, what stakes are comparable? Play live about 8 times bigger than you play online. Online is way, 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 way tougher than live. Let's see. Do you play golf?
No, I was learning to play with my dad several years ago. We would go to the driving range a lot together. He took me to a course a few times, but not a lot. I was mostly a driving range person. But that stopped. My dad no longer worked. We were both working in Midtown, so we would meet after work once a week and head to the driving range together. My dad now doesn't work in the city anymore. So it was no longer convenient for us to meet, and it kind of fell away. So I can't remember the last time I played.
And I do not play golf because, we already discussed how I have a hard time relaxing, and I certainly cannot take half a day off. If I took half a day off, I would lose my mind. That said, a lot of poker players love golf.
That makes no sense, because you would take a half a day off to go play a Magic the Gathering tournament. So if golf were your hobby, you would take a half a day to go play golf. You're just not interested in that becoming your hobby.
How many Magic tournaments have I played in the last year?
I'm just saying.
1. You're
making it sound like because it's not your work, you can't give the time.
Okay, fair.
But if it was your hobby, you would give the time.
I would definitely say, though, that I understand golf takes a lot of time to get good at, and is also...
like Magic the Gathering.
...quite expensive.
No, not really.
Kind of is.
Okay.
If you're going to do it right, it is.
Okay.
And I just don't have time in my life to devote to something like that at this moment.
What age are you going to show your kids to play poker? Show your kids how to play poker.
Whenever they feel like it. I don't know. I'm going to introduce them to all sorts of games as soon as they can figure it out. And we'll go from there.
It is warm in here.
It always is very hot in here. You all may not know this, but it's like a sauna. And that's because there's no ventilation. But I like it. It'll make you lose weight. Every day I sweat off 6 pounds of water. Probably not true. Can you give us a brief story of how we met?
The brief story is that it was in the Bahamas while Jonathan was playing a poker tournament. I was standing behind him, and he started talking to me.
I was somehow at a table.
Going into that is not going to
with
make
4 guys and 4 girls. They were my friends. 4 guys and their 4 girlfriends at the table. And there was a lady, her, standing behind me. And for the first time in history, I knew the lady sweating the table was not with anyone at the table. Because usually if someone's watching someone, it means that they were with someone at the table. But that just wasn't the case, because I knew they were all taken. So I chatted her up. I asked her why she wasn't married. What was her response?
I don't know. I guess there's something wrong with me.
And that's all I needed. So that was my end. We'll fix her. and make her my wife.
You did it.
Then I moved in about 3 months later. James and Thomas are named for apostles, or is that just a coincidence? They are my apostles. Jonathan Little's apostles.
Coincidence.
Let's see.
We like the name James just because we liked the name. It was the name that had been kind of in my head for a while, actually, even before I was pregnant. I just had always liked it. And so we went with that. And then we had a harder time picking Thomas's name, but we kind of liked that Thomas meant twin. Because we should
have given that to James, because James is my twin.
Yeah, because we would talk, James is so clearly a clone of John, and so we would sing songs about him being a twin and joke about him being a twin. And so when we saw what Thomas meant, we thought the same. We just thought that would be really cute. But we had some other names too that we were thinking about. But Thomas, at the end of the day, just when we saw him after he was born, we just said he looks like a Thomas.
What was your perspective when we met? What were you thinking? Were you thinking, this is the love of my life, I have to marry him immediately?
Of you?
Yeah.
No. Not even close.
Give your thoughts. Give your perspective.
Well, I was nervous walking into the tournament because I was by myself. The friends I had shown up with had already left, so I was a little bit nervous. I didn't want to get embarrassed or someone to shoo me away. And then when we started talking, I kind of just thought you were nice.
I am nice.
Actually, I don't think I've ever said this to him before, so I'll say this. I was nervous. I thought he was very nice, but I also noticed these little birthmarks he has right here on his cheek. And so I remember looking at that a lot because certainly I must have met other people that had similar birthmarks, but I didn't recall. So I remember looking at those little birthmarks and just somehow they were captivating.
My wife has weird vanity issues, apparently.
No, I love you. I think you're gorgeous.
I know that.
You're gorgeous.
Thank you.
And then I remember he was really nice, really friendly, really wanted to, answer my questions.
Because I thought she was cute.
And then I remember being a little taken aback because when we were walking to go get a bite to eat afterwards, when we left the tournament area, several people were waving hello to him and shaking his hand. And I thought, who is this guy? Who is this guy, this young kid, 2010, so you were how old?
25, I guess.
26? 25-year-old kid.
Who everyone knows.
It was so weird, but I don't know. He was really nice, friendly, asked me a lot of questions about what I did. I don't know. He was charming.
When I met Amie, I was smitten. Do we have a poker table at our home? No, we have no room for anything. That would be ridiculous to have a poker table. We have a dining room table. Do you know how to play Magic the Gathering?
I do. Not well.
Not well, but she can play a game. I have this thing called a battle box. It is a bunch of very difficult cards. It's not very fun for Amie, but she can navigate if she has to. You want to know something I did wrong? Is I taught Amie how to play hard version of Magic first. I should have started teaching her a very easy version. When you teach people a game, they don't have to know all the rules. They don't even have to play it like you play it. And you always want to make sure you start very easy when you're teaching someone something that you know is a very, very difficult thing.
Is that really Bill Seymour?
That is really Bill. Listen, if someone has their name.
Well, someone else had Stu Unger too, and clearly that's not Stu
If they're
Unger.
on Facebook, it is definitely their real name.
If it's on Facebook, it's their real name.
Hello, Bill Seymour.
Thank
You're very,
you,
very
Bill
nice.
Seymour.
Let's see. Initial investment can be $2,000 for golf. Sure. How much is the time I'm going to spend worth, though? Just don't have time, guys. Don't have time for golf. Sorry. And I don't want to gamble at golf. I'm not a big fan of prop bets, etc., etc. What criteria do we have for calling raises with ace, drag, suited, and ace access? This is something you need to go and study at pokercoaching.com. We are not going to go through how to play a specific type of hand when the right answer is 25 pages long. Let's see. Joseph said that Titleist has new clubs. They're only $500 per iron. It's kind of cheap. You can get the whole set for $20K. Let's see. So maybe you're right. Only $20K to play golf. Did you get to play Legacy when Treasure Cruise and Dicta Time were legal? No, I actually don't play a whole lot, like I said, Mark. But I played Magic while they were legal. But I did not play. Unfortunately.
This guy should be blocked.
Okay. Bye. Can you talk about some of what you do as an environmental lawyer? You're not an environmental lawyer. What kind of lawyer are you?
Energy, but I understand it's easy to confuse or think the two are similar. I do a lot of work in the energy space and the renewables space. And I'm a tax lawyer. So a lot of what I do is I help developers of renewable energy projects who aren't in the business of actually operating the renewable projects get buyers for them. And then I help a lot of investors find projects to buy. And the reason why my work is kind of critical to making that happen is that a lot of the benefits to investing in renewable energy, other than wanting to make the world a better place, is that you can get a lot of tax incentives, tax credits, better tax depreciation benefits. And so you want to make sure you're structuring your deals in the right way to make sure that the right parties are getting the right benefits at the end of the deal after the deal closes. So that's the work that I do. The environmental people, the environmental lawyers that get involved are doing work more on the construction of the deal and making sure that, you know, the site that the project is located at doesn't have any issues that, you know, if there's, an eagle's nest nearby, how is that going to be resolved? I'm serious.
Yeah,
how is that going to be resolved? And I'm really simplifying what environmental lawyers do, but that's more along the lines of what they do, and I'm doing more of the logistics of the deal from the tax side.
Is the answer not just to shoot the eagle?
Can't.
Oh, okay. Do you know what NRDC means?
Of course
Is it worth discussing or no?
Oh, any thoughts to share about the organization? Not in particular, but, I think any organization that's committed to helping the environment and helping people acknowledge the effects of climate change and the existence of climate change is really important.
You're planning a poker trip. Where should you go? Tunica, Mississippi, Cherokee, North Carolina, or your hometown of Jacksonville? I have not played in Tunica or Cherokee. I played in Tunica a long time ago, and there were not many games at all. I would almost certainly suggest Jacksonville.
That is not his hometown, though.
That's his hometown.
Oh, I thought they were saying your hometown.
No, my hometown's Pensacola. Brad's hometown is Jacksonville. I know Jacksonville has good games, so maybe Jacksonville. I would tell you to go to Las Vegas or Los Angeles or Miami, though. They probably have a bit more to do in the city, and I know they have good games. Do you enjoy movies? Do I enjoy movies?
Star Wars movies.
Star Wars. I like Star Wars. I like The Matrix.
Toy Story.
I like Toy Story. Do you like movies? What's your favorite genre?
Oh, someone said, can someone... Look, that's what we did. That was the guy we banned.
Thank you. They did it. Don't worry about trolls and haters. We have people to take care of that here.
Okay, I did not know that.
We have police. And they are heavy with the ban hammer. I'm heavy with the ban hammer too. If someone's out of line, banned. We don't need you in our lives.
Mm.
You can do social media two different ways. You can allow it to make you miserable, or you can allow it to benefit your life. And when someone is actively being a troll, ban them. Now, if someone is just presenting a different viewpoint, don't ban those people, right? Some people think, oh, you disagree with me, therefore I ban you. That's ridiculous. But if someone's being a troll and being vulgar and being lewd, then they are, is it fair to say they're the scum of the earth and should be banned? They should be eradicated out of existence? Kind of like the eagle, if it's in your way. Pew, pew.
Pew, pew.
Pew, pew.
Pew, pew.
All right, let's see. I should move to New Jersey. The cost of living is cheaper than New York. Well, Jay Carlos, it all depends on what your priorities are. There's one very big reason we live in New York City. What is it?
2.
2? All right, what are they?
I want to be close to my parents.
Okay.
Who live in Brooklyn.
Okay.
And my work is currently here, and I want a short commute.
So, what would we trade for a short commute for Amie so she can walk to work or be home in like 5 minutes in a taxi? What is that worth? And to us, it's worth a lot. I would much rather Amie have an extra hour with the kids each day. So what is an hour? What's 365 extra hours with your child worth? Or your children worth? Or your significant other worth? That's kind of how I view it. And that's just in 1 year. So would we pay, I don't know, $100K to have 365 more hours of you with the children? If you can afford it, you should probably pay. It's not all about dollars. And for example, we could move anywhere else in the country almost and just retire. But we want to be near Amy's parents, right? And Amie likes to work. So, well. So you have to understand the priorities and what you actually want to achieve. And if being frugal is what you want to achieve, then sure. But at the same time, money is a resource that should be used. And you just have to figure out how to allocate your resources. Is the carbon footprint really worth it to recycle? You know about that, or I don't know?
Well, we've talked about it, how some people claim actually it uses a lot of energy to recycle and additional resources to recycle, and so the net benefit might not be as great as we're thinking.
Yeah, I don't actually have accurate data, though, so
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk about things I don't know.
Yeah.
I try to not speculate so much on this show.
I agree.
Because...
On the non-speculating, I agree on the non-speculating.
Yeah, I mean, this is not a gossip show. This is not a let's get riled up and fight people show. This is an educational show, and if I don't know about something, I'm going to say I don't know. That's the ethical thing to do. That's the right thing to do. Will I be at Run It Up next week? No, I have a wife and 2 kids.
What's Run It Up?
They have some tournament somewhere, sometimes. I'm not going to go anywhere until the World Series of Poker in May. Actually, they have the World Poker Tour Tournament of Champions and a big tournament at Aria right before the World Series, so I'm going to be out there on May 27th for that. But no, I'm not. There's a article I wrote, jonathanlittlepoker.com/travel rake. You will go and see why I do not travel to play $1,000 buy-in tournaments. Let's see. Do you like Star Wars? I do like Battlestar Galactica.
I do like Star Wars. I don't think I've ever seen Battle. Oh no, didn't you try to show?
I tried to get it to you,
time?
and you didn't get into it. It's not as good as Star Wars. I'll say that. What's my favorite magic card? Hypnotic Spectre.
That's not true.
What do you think my favorite magic card is?
Black Lotus.
I do have a very nice Black Lotus. I think I had a really nice Hypnotic
I'm not
Spectre.
asking about your favorite one that you have, just your favorite card.
Well, no, my favorite card is Hypnotic Spectre.
Oh, I did not know that.
Definitely is. Let me show you all. I have one. I know I have one. I used to have a really good one. It was altered by the artist. It was beta, but I sold it recently for like $400, which was just a little bit too much to pass up on. You give me a good deal, you can have any of the cards. Everything's for sale. Here's Hypnotic Spectre for all those. This is just a revised version.
Show Instagram.
Oh, here Instagram. Here's another version. I like signed cards. This is, I guess, I don't know what this is from. This is from Arena or something. Anyway, Hypnotic Spectre. There it is. My favorite card. I have so many good memories of that as a child. It's a solid card. It makes their opponent discard stuff randomly, so they just randomly get screwed. What game does that sound like? So basically, I love playing poker even as a Magic player because sometimes your opponent just loses. They just randomly they lose. What's more fun than that? Do you like randomly losing? Like doing the best you can, playing great, and still just getting crushed. Do you enjoy that? Do you like doing it to your opponents?
No.
All right, well, see, that's why you don't play poker. Amie likes to see hard work rewarded. Let's see. You heard it costs more to make a windmill than it generates in power. Is this true? Well, cost more in terms of what? Dollars? Cost more in terms of energy is required to set it up? I don't know. That's a weird question. Do you know anything about that?
I wouldn't have thought so, but I don't know.
Let's see. What's a good solar company? To what? To invest in? To put on your house?
No comment.
No comment? Not allowed to comment?
Well, first of all, because some of them might be clients or not clients, and some of them do well financially and some of them don't. But I think any company that's genuinely trying to invest in and develop technology to encourage additional use of solar energy is generally a good / hopefully admirable thing.
I have this big binder here of some of my favorite Magic cards. I have a page of all my favorites. We're going to show you some. We have Baron Singier. Singier, I'm not sure how you say it.
This is the part of the conversation where I become completely irrelevant.
We have Phyrexian Skuta Phyrexian Skuta. Yeah. Phyrexian Skuta. We have Phyrexian Negator. Oh, this is one of my favorite cards too. I love this card. You guys can't see it. Come on, focus. Get Amy's face out of there. Oh, what a beautiful card. I love this card because it's very swingy. Whenever this guy takes damage, you sacrifice a permanent. You know how detrimental that is? But it's a 5/5 for only 3 mana. When you play it, you just win unless your opponent does something. We have Grinning Demon. It hits you in the face too. These are just all good cards, right? Feel the pain. You have to feel the pain. As you can see, I enjoy the sign cards. Anyway, these are some of my favorite black cards. And randomly Catacomb Dragon we have down there. Let's see. Where do I go when I play live poker? I travel the live poker tournament circuit to play very high volume events. So what that essentially means is I want to be able to invest a lot of money in a short period of time. Which means I'm not going to go play $1,000 buy-in tournaments, ever, because it's just not a good usage of my time. Time is the most important resource once you get to a specific point in life, and you have to make sure you're utilizing it well, because every hour I spend playing poker, I don't get to spend with my family, and I want to spend time with my family. Funny enough, someone said they thought my favorite card would be Fiery Justice. I assume I must have one in this binder, but I actually don't. How brutal is that? I do know where one is, though. I can find one very quickly. How do I not have a Fiery Justice in here? That's unbelievable. Oh, well. Let's see. What's the black deck? There's 5 different colors in Magic. And white, blue, black, red, green. I had a good black deck as a kid. Black does a lot of things that hurt yourself and hurt your opponent at the same time. That's a lot of fun. I'll go down with a ship. That happened in poker, actually. In Sit and Goes a long time ago, you would do this thing called spike calling your opponents.
Sorry, it is so hot in here.
Hey, family show. Family show. Keep your clothes on.
I don't know how you do this.
Well, we're trying to lose weight and keep it hot in here. It's only like 110 degrees, to be fair. It's not actually that hot. What was I saying? I had a black deck as a kid that was very good. I liked it. It had Sinkhole, which kills their lands. I had Hypnotic Spectre, which makes them discard. Obviously, it had Dark Ritual, etc., etc. Now you can only play Dark Ritual and Storm. Let's see. Back to teaching a new player. Did you make any significant mistakes? Well, we learned to play heads up, one-on-one. And that ended up making Amie be a bit of a maniac in full ring poker, right? Because she learned to play heads up. And we played for fun, right? That's what I suggest you do. Get a deck of cards, play together, and just have fun with it. You can even play for us to do the dishes or something like that, right? And then, make the sack shallow, so it's kind of 50-50 anyway. Give her basic strategy, go all in a lot, be aggressive, and do that. Oh, spike calls. Yeah, and Sit and Goes a long time ago. If you could make a regular quit or go broke, that would give you way more profitability. So, sometimes the regulars would result to spike calling, where you voluntarily realize, I'm going to light some amount of my money on fire, in exchange for lighting the same amount of money of yours on fire, and giving it to the other players. It's a dangerous game, because you don't know how much money the other person is willing to burn, because they'll participate sometimes. And I never really got involved with that too much, but it is definitely a viable strategy, especially if you know your opponents are playing under bankrolled, because if you can, let's say they have 10K, if you're just willing to light 6 or 8K on fire, then it sucks for them, and there's nothing you can really do about it in Sit and Goes. Who and by who are all those signed cards, and when did I make it? And when do I make it to Vegas for the seat you won? You haven't won the seat yet. The artist, the people who drew these cards, who illustrated them, signed it. I also have, these are all artist-drawn cards as well, as you all can see. These are on proofs, they're on the back of Magic cards. Lots and lots of fun stuff we have in here. Watch your face. I love art. There's nothing on that page. Let's see. I love art a lot. All of these are artist-drawn things by the artist. I have a nice little collection. Yeah. What else do we have? Oh, I love Amie Weber's art. I have a Time Walk recreation right up there on the wall. Here's more Magic cards. Amy's like, come on. Aren't these pretty?
Yeah, very pretty.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, I love art. All right. What are your hobbies?
I have none.
Are you Hispanic?
No.
Why don't you have hobbies?
There's just nothing I guess I like to travel and vacation when I have free time. That's what I would do with more free time. Or I would sleep.
If I was to order a breakfast, what would I order? We do order breakfast sometimes. Hey, come in, buddy bud. We order omelets with tomatoes.
Say hi.
How do you simplify poker math when assessing a range? Study at pokercoaching.com. Hi, Mr. James.
You have your bus? Yeah, we're going to shut it. We're going to shut it. That's right.
Joseph says, I'm pulling out magic cards like I would take them to show and tell. I do have the magic card show and tell. It's a good one. I have 4 altered versions of that. They have Star Wars characters on them.
Can you say hi to everyone?
Take up golf, man. No, I can't show you golf. Oh, hi, James.
Baby shark.
You see Baby Shark?
Yeah.
Wait, oh, you see the shark? It's right back there. Baby. Baby shark. Do it. Don't be shy.
Mommy shark.
Thomas sounds upset. He is. He wants to be in here, but he's not.
I know.
I'm
I'm going to get going. Come on.
Well, we have to go anyway. We've been going 58 minutes. It's a
Thanks
nice,
for
good
having
show.
me, everyone.
Thanks
I
for
hope
being
I
here.
did okay.
So, we have a few
Can you
things
say
to
bye?
talk about. Tonight, the Global Poker Awards happen.
Wait, mommy.
We'll go play. That's right.
Mommy.
Yeah, we'll go play. Say
Mommy.
bye. Can you wave bye-bye?
Bye. Have fun.
Have fun.
Can you tell them good luck?
Cool.
Good luck.
Can you say, we love you?
I'm ready.
Can you say thank you for being here?
You love me. We're best friends like friends should be. Okay, let's go. Come on. Say bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. All right, you out of here too?
Yes.
Good. Thank you for being here, Amy. We have to pack it up anyway.
Thank you, everyone.
Hey, James. Whatever. Bye. Can we talk about balancing life and family? We discussed this earlier. Really, you have to figure out your priorities and figure out what is important to you. And that may not be poker. If you have lots and lots of other stuff going on. I don't get to do the things I want to do. So anyway, Global Poker Awards are tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We are live to win Poker Personality of the Year. Thanks to all of you. Hopefully we had lots of votes. I don't think we are the favorite to win, but you never know. It's interesting because my following is mostly spread out, right? Like you have Lex, who has 100,000 Twitter followers or Twitch followers. You have the video bloggers who have 100,000 subscribers over there. I know I have hundreds of thousands of people on my email list, and then I have all of you who are spread on all these platforms, and that's okay. I think we're live to win. I don't think we're dead. Last year I thought we were dead. This year I think we're quite live. Mainly because the 2 vloggers are going to be splitting votes, because the video blogging categories, there's 2 of them, and when there's 2 of them, that's just going to naturally split votes, and that's not so good for them. Anyway, we'll do our best. Also, we're giving away for 3 World Series Big 50 seats. You can sign up to that at pokercoaching.com/WSOP to get your chance to win those. It also comes with some D&B poker books. It comes with a year to pokercoaching.com, my site. You can get a free membership, a free trial membership to pokercoaching.com, by the way. So definitely check that out. And finally, we're doing a webinar, a live webinar on Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. It's going to be right after a little coffee. We're doing that with Fedor Holz. You've probably heard of him. He's won all the tournaments. I think he's cashed for like $32 million. It's a pretty good amount in a pretty short period of time, so good job for him. And I always try to ask, what do I want to learn? And so I go out and I find people who I want to learn from and do my best to work with them. Fedor seemed like the dream person to work with, so we're going to be working with Fedor. So that will be on Monday. That webinar is capped, so make sure you get there on time. There will be a replay available if you cannot get into it. And we're also going to have a discount for Primed Mind, which I use to get ready before every tournament. So that will all be happening on Monday. You can go to pokercoaching.com/primedmind to sign up for that webinar. All right, that's it. Have a great day. Enjoy yourselves. Be nice to someone. Thank you for being here. This was a good show. Share it with your friends. That's by far the most beneficial thing you can do to help me out. Have a great weekend. I know you'll all be on the grind. Good luck, have fun, and I will see you all on Monday, bright and early, another little coffee at 9 a.m. Eastern Time.